Hi everybody, this is Kaylee Holland here, and I'm going to be talking about group projects. And whether we're in school or the workforce, we all have to do a group project at one point. So I'm just going to discuss the good, the bad, and the ugly on group projects because they can be very challenging, but it provides a dynamic that you can't get when you work by yourself. So the advantages of group projects are that they're just one big learning experience because you split up the tasks and it allows for better time management. You can focus on your strengths and overcompensate for your weaknesses. You can give and receive constructive criticism and develop stronger communication skills because working in groups forces you to communicate with others. You have access to hear different people's perspectives, and that just really helps you out in the group project because it gives you the ability to hear more ideas and some things that you won't think of yourself. Working in groups can be a little bit daunting just because you do have to work with other people, and especially while you're in school, it can be a very vulnerable thing for you because a lot rides on it. You're working for a grade. That could be very emotional. So it makes you vulnerable because you have to expose your weaknesses to other people. If you're not good at something, you have to let your group members know that you're not good at that because they're not going to know otherwise if you don't tell them. And you want to be able to do something that you're good at to help out the group. You want to avoid negative feedback. Nobody likes rejection. Nobody likes to hear that they're not good at something. But people don't like your ideas. You kind of just have to take that into consideration and consider other people's ideas. And that can be it could be very vulnerable when you're sharing ideas that you're passionate about. It's easier to just keep those to yourself when you work individually. When you're passionate about something, your ideas or views or your experiences, you have to share those with other people. And a lot of times when you're working in groups, you're working with your peers and everybody's on the same level, so you compare yourself to others sometimes, and that can be a not so good feeling. It's also difficult to collaborate if you're a person that likes to take leadership and just do everything by themselves because you want things done a certain way. It can be different to hear other people's ideas, so that can be very hard. The anxiety that comes with working in groups, the workload seems daunting. A lot of times when you hear, oh, you're going to be working in groups, you're thinking, oh, it's going to be a lot of work. So because you have to split it up, it's going to be so much work. And then you might think you have a busy schedule and you have to work with others that also have a busy schedule as well. So you might find it impossible, especially when you're an adult, impossible to just find the time to sit down with other people instead of doing it yourself at like 2 a.m. or something. And if you're just a shy person, it's hard to work in groups because you have to interact with other people in order to be successful. Focus strategies are super, super important because when you maintain the focus, you'll get the project done in a manageable time. So you have to maintain, ways you can do this is you can maintain the accountability when you meet with your group by discussing the individual progress and assign tasks at the very beginning, so that when you're discussing what people have done for the past week, you can see where you're at and see that they've been accountable. And your teammates or your group members will know that they have to do that at the beginning of each meeting, so they're going to do it. Having a schedule for each meeting is very important because it keeps the structure consistent. When you keep the structure consistent, each member knows exactly what they're getting into when they have to go to a group meeting, so they know what needs to be done on their part. Having a timer set up if you allow each member like 5 minutes to speak and share their ideas, it keeps everything in order so they don't get off task and things don't run over time. You can take breaks if you're working on the actual project for an extended period of time. Like if you set out like 3 hours on a Saturday, it's important to take breaks at the top of or bottom of each hour when you're working in an extended period of time. And technology can be very, very distracting, so you can do this old restaurant trick. If you stack your phones up and the first person to touch their phone has to bring the snack the next time or something like that, That way they're just not all on their phones the entire time and being unproductive. Assign and rotate each member to bring a snack, so nobody's dragging, or bring the coffee so nobody's dragging. And assigning new tasks at the end of each meeting so that the group members know what they need to get done each time, like for the next meeting, is very effective, so nobody will have questions. And I really stress weaknesses, because when you're in a group project, you can do stuff that you're good at versus the things that you're bad at. Like, I'm not very good with gadgets, so having somebody that's good with technology and just different programs is very important to me to have in group meetings, because I'll put in the work and the content, but if you can just arrange it, for me, that's the best thing. So just consider their strengths and your weaknesses. Assist in the areas, they can assist you in the areas that you struggle with, and vice versa. Picking someone that has prior knowledge to the topic can be very beneficial, and definitely having someone with similar schedules. When I cheered at West Georgia, a lot of times I worked with other athletes because we had similar schedules, and we could each pull our weight and work around our practice schedules, and our coaches could be on the same accord as well. And keep the group small. The smaller they are, the easier they are to get together with everybody. And also, don't always work with your best friend, and work with like-minded people, because if you guys are both focused on success and getting a good grade, then it's gonna work out for you. Group work versus individual work, it relieves stress of doing things that you aren't confident about. You can build those relationships, and diverse perspectives make you well-rounded, and it gives you a confidence boost when you're recognized by your peers for doing something well in the group. You're less likely to procrastinate and more likely to manage time better. And working alone can be burdensome, so you have people to split the workload with, so it's not as stressful. The challenge of group work results in personal growth. Anytime you're met with a challenge and you rise above that challenge, you grow personally. So it will just help you in the real world, in school, in the workforce, and everything like that. So thank you guys for watching, and I'm going to show you my lovely audience now. Thank you, audience, for watching.